You know, there's no better place to create a French country landscape than in front of a French country design. And Mark, they go hand in glove, don't they?
They do. We've got a beautiful home here as a gorgeous backdrop to our landscaping.
Yeah, this is a beautiful location. It's right on the St. Joe River. I love the look, I tell you. And when you get Lintons together with your next project, it's magical, folks. It really is. And we've got all kinds of things to talk about here. A little peek at what's going on in the back as well. But Mark, what do you say we start here?
We're going to start out with one of my favorite rare and unusual evergreens. Craig, this is called a Japanese umbrella pine, and it gets its name umbrella because if you look at the ends of the branches, it appears like the shape of an umbrella. Very unusual. Needles actually feel almost like rubber.
Yeah, they sure
a lot
do.
of folks like, is it really real?
And you grew that right here.
Here at our nursery in Bristol, yes. Yeah. It's a dwarf miniature pine, grows very slowly, does a great job of anchoring the corner. We've got one of our necessary evils behind here. We've got a gas meter. Everyone's got a gas meter, and we wanted to hide that with this dwarf evergreen.
How long have you been working on that dwarf evergreen?
This is about a 12, 14-year-old specimen. Grows incredibly slowly.
Wow, that is really cool. A very nice look, complemented by the landscaping here. And you talk about boulders a lot in your design, Mark, and it's always a freebie, isn't it? A bonus when you can find one right on your property.
Absolutely. The homeowners actually uncovered these when the excavation was going on here, and they appreciate the boulders, and so we incorporated, actually all these boulders were here from this property and just incorporated them into the new landscape.
Yeah. Outstanding. Well, what else is going on here? It looks like a lot.
To the viewers right here, we've got some of our gold thread cypress, nice splash of gold. It's in the evergreen family, provides the gold color 12 months out of the year. You're going to see a lot of perennials and flowering shrubs incorporated in here. We've got some of our low maintenance daisies. These have started blooming late spring, bloom the entire summertime. Still in bloom with the fall weather here. You can see some new flower buds starting to form. These are going to do a nice job of filling out, give a nice splash of white with the yellow. Daisies it's a happy flower, puts a smile on everyone's face.
It does, it does. And it's right in step two with the theme here of red, white, and blue, which is what the homeowner really requested.
Absolutely. I like how the white contrasts nicely with the black bark mulch that we have here as a ground cover.
Yeah, I love that look. I always have, and it looks really great against this French country backdrop, doesn't it? What else?
Well, you're going to see several of these little miniature spruce. These are called a Johnsdilly spruce. It's a dwarf Alberta spruce. It's a new hybrid, does a great job of naturally shaping itself. Almost zero pruning to it, grows very slowly, and just like how it accents this corner here, gives us a little bit of height.
And it doesn't cover up any window, obviously, at any point in time, right?
That's always important. We like to follow the architecture of the house and always have lower plantings underneath the architectural features such as the window. You're going to see a little use of quite a few boxwoods here. We've got this little miniature dwarf boxwood hedge, which we want to keep below the base of the window. In fact, I don't want to hide this brick and stone here, and so we've got these, which are nice, short, and compact. Homeowner just simply prunes the top and then runs those electric shears down the sides, low maintenance.
That's a first, because you know, you always talk about keeping it below the level of the window, but you've actually gone a step further here with that beautiful brick.
Yeah, don't want to hide that. Yep. We've got some of our low maintenance drift roses here, non-stop blooming all spring, summer, and fall. Each one puts out over 2,000 blooms per season. You're going to see them scattered around here. We've got this nice little topiary here. This is our dwarf globe blue spruce patio tree. I like how it gives us a little bit of height here at the entrance. It goes along with our red, white, and blue theme, and not only frames the window, but the doors as well. You've just recently finished up this project, right, Mark? Just a couple weeks ago, yes. That's really nice. And what about here? Well, to go along with the French country look, nice formal entrance here, dwarf miniature boxwood hedge. Wanted to tone down the look of the concrete porch there, so we're going to want to keep these low. Actually planted these rather close together, so it forms a hedge rather quickly. And you're seeing our red and white perennials here, a repeat of the gold thread cypress and the Johnsdilly spruce. And actually our client had the red climbing mandevilla vine on the trellis, and I like it there. It works out very, very well.
It fits right in, and another glowing example of how homeowners can blend right into what you've put in plans for them, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So framing the corner here, and along with another Johnsdilly spruce, a repeat of the gold thread cypress, which will stay below the base of the tree, a beautiful red Japanese bloodgood maple here to accent the corner of the house. Ties in with the red brick, but contrasts nicely with the white stone that you see here behind it.
Yeah, another boulder I see too, huh?
Yes, a boulder that was originally here on the site.
Uh-huh. What else here, Mark?
You're going to see another repeat of our white flowering daisies along the edging here, and we've got them alternated in between these boxwoods. And because of the window here, again, the boxwoods are going to stay low and below the base of the window.
Now these are a little larger boxwoods than what we saw earlier.
They
right?
are.
Yeah.
The hedge we want to keep a little lower.
Yep.
The globe boxwoods, we'd like a little bit more height there.
And globe boxwood is a great description of what we're seeing here. It looks like a globe, doesn't it?
Our nursery staff's done a great job of pruning them for many, many years to achieve that.
Right. What about this?
Okay, so we've got one of our dwarf burning bush here, and with the change in the weather conditions, starting to see a little hint of red, and these are going to turn fire engine red. In fact, if you look in here, we're starting to get some of them more of that fall color. Now you see a combination of the red brick and the limestone here, so we strategically placed the burning bush in front of the limestone. What we didn't want is red in front of red. It's like camouflage. It just blends in.
Uh-huh, so there is a method to your madness, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Well, this is a really great design, French country design for the French country look in back. And speaking of in back, we're going to go even further back, aren't we?
Absolutely. We are blessed with this house sitting on a beautiful St. Joe River, and we had some challenges there with the hillside.
Well, let's go discuss that. You want to?
Okay.
Mark, there are some recurring themes back here in the backyard, aren't there?
Absolutely. You're going to see a repeat of red, white, and blue flowering perennials as well as shrubs. And what I like about this is just the way it displays itself nicely on these terraces here.
Mm-hmm. And that really was one of your biggest challenges of all, the steep incline here.
Absolutely. And there's probably more people that view this house from the river than what they do from the street. We're at a pretty quiet cul-de-sac out in front, but as we're out here, there's constantly boaters going by, and this is absolutely beautiful. With the sunroom there, they actually get a nice aerial view of the landscape as well, kind of looking down on it.
Yeah, and it sticks out a little bit. This area probably get a nice little breeze running through there too. Huh?
Absolutely.
How comfortable is that? Well, talk a little bit more about what we see in front of us.
Well, we've got a nice set of stone steps here being retained with the native fieldstone boulders. We wanted to have a little bit of height in the back. We always do kind of a terrace or a layered type of look. We've got white flowering hydrangeas up against the stone wall, but these are dwarf hydrangeas that aren't going to totally cover and hide that. Now in front of that, Craig, we've got our miniature roses, our red drift roses, and then also for a splash of blue, we've got some more perennials incorporated in here as well.
Very nice. And the steps look plenty wide enough, right, for people to come up and down on?
Very easy to navigate. Another thing that's fun for the homeowners here are these dwarf butterfly bushes. They are magnets, and they continue to attract butterflies all season long as they're in bloom. They start blooming late springtime and continue to bloom all the way up until frost. And as you get close to them, you actually can smell the sweetness of them as well. Smells very similar to lilacs.
How about that? Mark, when you get this close to water, do you recommend any plant choices that maybe are preferred over another type?
Well, it all depends upon the soil conditions, and Craig, what we've got here is very, very sandy soil.
That, yeah.
And we typically find that along the water's edge and that. So water drains incredibly well here. It does take a lot more hand watering and more irrigation in order to keep the plants happy and healthy.
And I heard you just before coming on talking to the homeowner about that very thing, hand watering, and it sounds like they've been right on the mark with that.
They're following our written instructions.
Yeah.
Yes, greatly appreciated.
Super. Well, what else here, Mark?
Okay, so probably our biggest challenge is the steepness here of the hillside. And what we wanted to do was to have some erosion control here, and so therefore we planted the blue dune grasses, and in just a few years those are going to grow together and do a great job of stabilizing that.
Well, some great ideas here, whether you live on the water or not. I would think a lot of these principles remain the same, don't they?
They do.
Fantastic. Well, we've got a whole lot more coming up on the program. Some great information, tips, and some direction for you for your landscaping at home. All that coming up when we return. Stay with us.